I think it's really important to be intentional about listening to people, finding out where they are. There's a great phrase from Stephen Covey. He says, always seek to understand before you seek to be understood. And I like to work with words. I like to have something to say. So it's a very important, maybe especially important for somebody like me, to lead with my ears and to lean in with my ear and with my heart to be open to the other person as I'm providing care for them. When I think of examples of shepherding and God's grace shining both to me and through me, it comes in terms of conversation. A lot of times conversation involves question. It's like a question sparks and they come to a person for an answer. Sometimes I've been the question asker, and sometimes I've been the person who's been asked questions. I think about those conversations because so rarely do the questions stay the same. I have in mind a teen from a church about 15 years ago, and we had a long-term pastor-parishioner relationship that spanned over 3 or 4 years, which for a high school student is really the whole of their high school career. And it was wonderful to see his questions about God, his questions about life change and mature. Of course, part of that was his maturity just as a human being, but so much of it was also his maturity in Christ. He was asking deeper and more meaningful questions, more personally applicable questions about what it meant to follow Jesus. So much of that is a key example of being a pastor, being a shepherd to others. I find it really important to have longevity in care, in shepherding other people, to have a good rhythm of life. One of the easy things for me to cut out of my life is just fun, to cut out hobbies, to cut out things that are otherwise entertaining, things that are just enjoyable for me. I always want to know, is this providing sustenance? Is this providing entertainment or joy for my family or for somebody else? But I found that for me to have a good rhythm in providing care, for me to have a good rhythm in shepherding, I also need to have life-giving activity that really is God's grace in my life, God's caring for my soul too. I hope that when people engage in a shepherding journey, when they are intentional about caring for the lives of others, that they would remember that this is a symbol of Christ's care for them. And in reality, the other person doesn't need your care, they need Christ's care. They need the care of the great shepherd. And so inasmuch as they are acting as an under-shepherd of the great shepherd, it's a great reminder to you that you need the care of Christ as well. And it's a good reminder that maybe you can receive the care of Christ from a brother or sister in the faith.